All right. Yeah, it is Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. And welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Audie. And I am your host, Audie. So today's topic was a challenge, issued by one of my supporters um, from since I first launched this channel. And G, this one's for you in terms of challenging me to do this one. I feel as though I don't even know what I'm gonna say about it, but here I'm gonna try to put that TWA as she usually refers to it. Tuesdays with Audie. That's what TWA stands for, guys. Come on, I know you get it. So yeah, TWA, Tuesdays with Audie. She said, okay, well, what is my how do I think in regards to the topic when it comes to support and congratulations, or supporters and congratulators. So I still don't even know. But the one thing I can say is that, in regards to what is a supporter, then I think we all tend to kind of intertwine or kind of find some way to kind of confuse what is a supporter or who is a supporter. Um, First of all, what is it? I'm not gonna give you the standard definition of what a supporter is, because everybody's gonna agree or disagree in terms of what the definition says, and even what the definition says, and still disagree with it. But because we're gonna put our own spin in terms of what we consider to be a supporter. But to me, a supporter is someone who is there in terms of your overall experience in a process to accomplishing a goal or task or something that you have set out for you to go ahead and achieve, which is usually what the goal is, or it may be you becoming something in the long run, or you're trying to redefine yourself. And so within that the redefinition, you tend to kind of run into some struggles and some success as well. So a supporter is a person or thing or multiple people that are there to help you to get through those rough times and those good times as well. They are there to give you the encouragement. They are there to kind of put in a word to kind of help you share their experiences, to kind of motivate you and get you out of your funk. And sometimes even when you need someone to celebrate with, they are there, even though they may not always be readily available. But they check in periodically to see how you're doing. They don't necessarily want to know how far you've gotten, but then just to check up on you itself and trying to make sure that you are okay. Those are the person who tend to be supporters. They do check in terms to see how the work is going as well, but what their main concern is how much progress you are making in regards to getting to this goal. The key word here is progress, because we always look in terms of we want to accomplish a goal, and that we until we accomplish that goal which we have set, then we have not made progress. But the supporter is there to kind of show you and saying, okay, well, look where you started and look where you are right now. It's like if you were here, if you look at where you started and where you are here, you can see that there's a difference in regards to how it is that you have done the work, what is it that you have done, and the much of growth and the amount of growth that you have made from when you first started to where you are currently now. Now that's what the support is there to help you in terms of helping you to realize those incremental progress steps that you have made, no matter how big or small they are. And when you are in a funk, then they tend to help you to get out of that and even help you to feel better, and so you can actually have the energy and motivation for you to continue in terms of achieving that goal. Now, congratulator. What is it? Everybody is a congratulator. I'm a congratulator. I think I'm more of a congratulator than a supporter, because congratulators are those people who they usually do check up on you. I'm not gonna say they don't check up on you now, but they tend to check up. They're more concerned. It's like, when are you gonna be done? When is this thing gonna be done, so that I can know it is done and I can come and we can celebrate, we can have fun, and we can talk about all the good things that you are about to do now that you have accomplished this goal. Congratulators, they tend to pop up out of when the goal is achieved, when you have completed that task or that thing that you set out for you to go ahead and do. You tend to see the congratulators. Those are the people who say, okay, congratulations, I am so proud of you. I always knew that you could do it. Is that I always believed in you. And it's like you were always X, Y, and Z, because it's like you were so determined, so you persevered, and I knew that you had the tenacity for you to accomplish and go through and make this thing come to reality. Once you post or people are aware of what it is that you've accomplished, whether it was a big or small task, the congratulators tend to come out and they let you know how they feel about the task that you've accomplished, even though they were not there. Now, the difference between the two, in my experience, supporters, families tend to be some of the biggest supporters. I'm not going to say all families are supporters, but some of them are congratulators as well. There are also, we want to look at supporters and congratulators, but I think there is a fine line between those two, which are the silent supporters slash congratulators. Those are the people who tend to not necessarily have a direct relationship with you, but they know about what it is that you are doing. So the people who they know are close to you, they tend to actually communicate to those people to find out how it is that you're doing and checking up on you. Now, you may not know directly in terms of you going through the process that they are trying to support you, but because they don't feel as though they need to get in your business per se, then they don't want to come and interject and kind of be annoyance, or I don't know, what's the word? They don't want to kind of, I don't know, put themselves in a position where they don't necessarily feel as though they need to be. Because in terms of you not having that relationship with those people, it would kind of feel different for them to actually come in and start asking these questions, because you all don't have that kind of relationship. So those silent supporters, they tend to, if your family, based on your parents, for example, your mom or your dad, if they are definitely well invested into what you are doing, they tend to talk to them and tell so and so, how's so and so doing, and then they check up on you and say, okay, well, tell them X, Y, and Z. And sometimes your parents do come and say, Miss so and so came by the other day and she was just asking me about you to just see how you're doing. And then sometimes your parents tell you that, or your friends, or your family, or your siblings. But at the end of the day, those silent supporters, they have a role to play in terms of making and helping your parents and the people who are supporting you see a different light, and also bringing their insight into the situation, and also sharing their experience to kind of help them help you to get to where you need to go. So supporters, in my experience, as well as I stated earlier, in terms of my mom, she's one of my biggest supporters in regards to anything I did, whether it was an education. My sister also, she's a supporter, and my cousin as well. But in terms of those people who actually tend to want to be, they tend to think they are supporters and want to be congratulators. They are congratulators. One of them is, my dad. Those are the people who tend, like, after you accomplish the goal, they're like, I'm proud of you, way to go. I know you could have do it. He was one of those kind of person. It's like, even though him and I didn't have that kind of relationship, once he found out, I graduated, or, I got this particular position, or this and that, because my mother kept him in the loop. He wanted to kind of, put himself out there and say, okay, well, I'm proud of you. This is my son, and X, Y, and Z. But then you look at it, and I don't like to do this, but sometimes, when people give you that side, I was like, it's like, yeah, I understand that you want to be proud of me, but where the hell were you when I needed all those words of encouragement, and I needed to hear those things to help me get through this particular process? And those are the things that the congratulators tend to not realize that they're doing. They are so concerned about the end goal of when you accomplish this thing, and how much they can say when you have accomplished whatever it is that you set out to accomplish, that the words that they say at that accomplishment, they don't realize how important those words are in terms of when you are going through that process. Now, congratulators, they are a dime a dozen. There are many of them. But the supporters, you are only going to find a handful of them that's going to stick with you and help you to get through what it is that you are doing. So for all the supporters, those people who tend to support your friends, your family, or anyone in the community, I'm seeing that this, today is election day in the United States. A lot of people are going to claim that they are supporters, because their party or whoever they wanted to actually get into the office win, and they're going to claim to support. But there's a difference between a supporter and congratulator. At the end, you usually hear the congratulators, and the supporters tend to get lost in all of the noise. But when the hard times come, the congratulators are lost, but the supporters are very well known. And it's up to those people who have accomplished their goal to kind of acknowledge and put in front, and put them in front of the stage, and highlight those people who supported them in order for them to get there. So when we watch the award shows and basketball and athletes and stars, celebrities, pretty much when they win an award, it's like the congratulators, they always are there in the front in terms of the media when they actually get the award. But when they actually take the time out to acknowledge the people who supported them, notice they only list a handful of people who supported them in order for them to get to where they had to get to. But that's the difference. When you get the chance for you to actually get an award, or for a chance for you to actually have your presence or someone to pay attention to what you have to say, then it is the perfect time for you to silence the congratulators and let the supporters and their light beam, so that people will be aware of who the real supporters were that helped you to get to the point that you are currently in. So to my supporters, since this channel started, I just would like to take a moment to acknowledge the supporters. G, I know she was one of the first people who actually, reached out to me in terms of, when I said, okay, well, I was thinking about this thing, she said you should do it. I just started a conversation with her. Avriel, thank you for, those behind the scene in regards to, checking up on me and making sure I'm doing okay. Ashley, for, taking the time to kind of, let me know what you liked about the channel and what you did not like and how much I can improve. Giselle, TJ, and those are the people who tend to kind of, take the time out to just make sure that, the channel is where it needs to be and how much I can improve on it. And Natasha, for just giving me the insight. And, sometimes even though I kind of think it's like, I want to do something, but I still don't know. And even sometimes when I think I want to do something and I try to go and do it, she's that red light, green light aspect and that orange light to kind of give me a moment to kind of stop and just pause and then realize what is it that I'm getting myself into. And so to all the supporters, I thank you all. The congratulators, continue to like, share, and subscribe. I love everybody who have tuned into this channel and continue to utilize their time for them to actually come in and listen to the content that I'm producing. So, we all are supporting right now. We all are trying to get somewhere. We all are going to be either one of those things at one aspect of our lives. I'm not always a supporter, and I'm not always a congratulator. But we do counterbalance and do sway and flow between being a supporter and a congratulator. So you just must be aware to acknowledge when is it that you are being one of the two, and not confuse being a congratulator and a supporter, because each one of those play their own individual role in ensuring that someone knows and appreciates and are acknowledged for their accomplishment. So that's the end of the episode. And with that said, that's another episode of Tuesdays with Audie. Today is election day, so for those supporters and the congratulators, go there and do what you got to do. I'm not an American, so I can't get into this, but at the end of the day, today it's gonna be a decision that's gonna be made in regards to the next 4 years of the United States. So if you can play a part in it, go ahead and do so. I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your vote. If you choose to vote, that's on you. If you don't choose to vote, that's on you. But at the end of the day, when you have the access to doing something, you undermine it. But when you don't have the access to doing something, then you tend to feel as though once you get in a position, then you're going to make the change that you need to do. And this is what, one of those things where it's being in a democracy that kind of highlight the fact that, when you don't have the power, you feel as though you need it. When you do have the power, you feel you undermine that power. So use the power wisely, and that's all on you. So with that said, deuces, I am outie, and see you all after this election. See you all next week Tuesday. Bye.